how have you seen with other states moving towards more of a managed care model for LTSS? What models have you seen other states going to, and where do you think the best practice lies within those models?
Oh, that's a great question. So, there's as time's gone on, there's actually a bit of a history now where the states have got some experiences, mostly bad, to be honest with you. What's really occurred is, independent of the states doing implementations, providers have embraced the technology and begun to use it, and they've invested in it. And in a lot of ways, the EVV doesn't stand alone. It's embedded in very sophisticated systems that are woven into the fabric of how providers do business. And one of the models is what we refer to as a state choice, and it's also what we call a closed system, meaning the providers don't get a choice. And states are finding out that there's a huge groundswell of protests from the provider community. So that's certainly a model that's falling out of favor.
So when you say with the closed model, why does that create challenges for the providers in the state?
Well, as I say, the providers have unique needs. They've each got their own business processes, and these systems, again, the EVV isn't just a singular technology. It's integrated with all sorts of functions, case placement, scheduling, billing, claiming, payroll. So all of these functions revolve around it.
All
and
kind
as
of
I said,
flows together.
Very much so. And so they may have a system in place. They may have EVV if the state makes a choice and mandates it. They're faced with a choice of ripping out the old, embracing the states, which might mean they have interfaces to invest in, disruption to their processes and training. They may have to run duplicate systems if they can't take it out. So it's very invasive for the provider community.
So then what's the benefit of the open model for the provider, and how does it all flow, whether back to the MCO or to the state?
Right. So and actually there's a variation of an open model that we also wouldn't advocate, and that is where the providers have a choice, but it doesn't flow.
Okay.
So in that model, it's the results are not good because there's no real monitoring cohesiveness or ability to ensure that all the proper checks and balances are in place. So that's another model, but where you get to better models, it's where there's provider choice and the data can flow to the state through set standards and protocols, and where the state is able to still enforce that all the requisite checks and balances, i.e. is the visit congruent with the claim that goes with it. And so that's a big piece of what's necessary. The states need. What we advocate for is for the states to allow the choice, but invest enough in the thought and the design such that there's cohesion and a framework. And then, the other thing is, as you mentioned, for the managed care organizations for the state to get the feeds of the data so that they can monitor and improve the whole ecosystem of EVV and the data that it gathers.